We're going to try it one more time. Welcome back to Mouthing Off with Mike here, ladies and gentlemen. The only wrestling podcast that knows where Seth Rollins really shops for his outfits. And I'm going to give you a hint. There's 4 letters in the alphabet, and there's a specific store he probably shops at to get some of those fits. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to a afternoon edition here, live edition of the Mouthing Off with Mike Wrestling podcast. If you couldn't tell by the theme surrounding me, I've got chains all around me. Listen, sticks and stones may break my bones, baby, but chains and whips excite me when we're talking about the 2025 Elimination Chamber Premium Live event. We've got 4 matches, 2 chamber matches, an unsanctioned match, and a women's tag team championship. And we've got a massive question to answer today here in Toronto, Canada, and that is, will Cody Rhodes accept The Rock's offer, and will he in fact sell his soul to Dwayne The Rock Soulman Johnson? I don't know. I feel like The Rock's got a little bit of a identity crisis going on here in the later portion of his years. Shout out to all of you guys for coming in here, viewing my predictions here. We are live on Twitter at MOWM_podcast. And we are live here on my YouTube, Mouthing Off with Mike Wrestling podcast. Hey, we got a good brother in the house. We got Kicking It with Leo. What's up, my man? How are you? Congratulations are in order. I just noticed here when I was catching your predictions and your new video that you just unveiled of all the cool merch you got from WWE Shop here in your first order of 2025. Shout out to 1,000 subscribers, Leo. You're busting your ass. You're grinding. You know what you want, and you're not going to stop until you get it. So make sure you go check out Leo. I'm sure he'll be live during the show. And you know, of course, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be live after the show here on Boom Broadcasting. Now you're going to have to just switch YouTubes. You just got to switch from Mouthing Off with Mike Wrestling podcast to Boom Broadcasting. And if you're watching me, then you're already a fan of Boom Broadcasting because you see me Mondays, Fridays, and premium live event Saturdays, and pay-per-view Sundays with the nightcap. So after tonight's Elimination Chamber, I will be live with a good brother Sean from Wrestling of Destiny of Boom Broadcasting, and of course, Tortellini from Black Masses and Constellations podcast here tonight for the Elimination Chamber nightcap, about 10 minutes concluding the event of the premium live show. So let's just start off with what we know up to this point. And it looks like announced here on social media. I don't know how true it is. It looks like the Women's Elimination Chamber will kick off the premium live event here tonight. So I'm going to not start with that match. I'm actually going to start with here, ladies and gentlemen, the unanswered question. Will Cody accept The Rock's offer and sell his soul? Well, 2 weeks ago on SmackDown, we had The Rock come out, call out Cody Rhodes, go on for about 25 minutes, just incoherent, mumbo jumbo, blabbering, yapping is like I like to do. I'm a big yapper, so me and The Rock got that in common. Just yapping about this and that, and I'm gonna make you the biggest star ever in professional wrestling, and you could have whatever your heart's desire is. And he tells Cody, but I want that. And he points, and Cody's like, well, I'm the champ. So, like, why do you want my belt? No. I want your soul. He wants that man's soul. You know Cody Rhodes' theme song, Adrenaline in My Soul. Something, Cody Rhodes. No, he's trying to get this man's adrenaline. He's trying to take his soul. He's trying to take everything. He wants corporate Cody Rhodes to be a thing and not the American Nightmare anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the strangest turns that we have taken on a road to WrestleMania in quite some time, since last year when we had The Rock say, well, should I sit at the head of the table? It's now 2 WrestleManias in a row where The Rock has said, well, about your WrestleMania plans, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to insert myself into everything. And you're going to just go ahead and figure out what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do whatever I want. Okay, sure. Why not? This past Friday, last night, we got the unveiling of the American Nightmare Mobile and the Cody Rhodes soul weight belt that The Rock unveiled at the airport tarmac as he was heading out to Canada. We saw, yeah, there it is. There for you who may not have caught SmackDown last night. The Rock wants Cody Rhodes' soul. My heart's desire is for The Rock to leave and never come back. Shout out to Rick Apit. My man said, my heart's desire is this man to get out of here. Cody won't accept. I see him getting hit with the weight belt again, or I can see him abusing his power somehow and entering himself in the chamber. Oh boy. Wouldn't that be something? The Rock, 75-year-old Dwayne The Rock Johnson, busting down in the Elimination Chamber here tonight with 6 of the most talented professional wrestlers in the world. I don't even know. Hey, shout out to Mr. OTM. I'm wearing the same shirt. Hey, let's go. Twins. We're twins. And you got my memo. I see. I hit him up this morning. I said, hey, look, Mr. OTM, good brother. I'm going to be live here today at 3:30 on the East Coast. I need you to wear the same John Cena shirt that I have on so we could have this interaction. This is all pre-planned. No, I'm kidding. Shout out to Mr. OTM. Go check out their podcast. No, Cody's not going to accept the offer. You be out of your damn mind. Now, it would be a great swerve. Now, would I be upset if Cody went, full Cody Lander and decided to join the Rock and become the corporate champion, corporate Cody Rhodes, the champion? That'd be one hell of a swerve. I don't think Cody will do it. I am strong in that belief. I mean, we've seen Cody's character throughout the last how many years of wrestling here with WWE. He's been back since 3 years now. Cody's never faltered. He's never changed who he is. Maybe he's changed his attitude and his aggression for those who deserve it. He'll point that aggression and anger to, an AJ Styles, a Kevin Owens, for them maybe betraying that friendship and some of the lines that have been crossed over the last few, years, when it comes to Cody Rhodes feuds. I think Cody will deny The Rock's offer, and I think Cody will probably take a beating at the chamber. There's a small chance that The Rock does it himself. There's an even bigger chance that potentially Solo does it, with Jacob and Tama. There's also the potential where we called up some other cousins and brothers from the Samoan dynasty and said, all right, we're going to go ahead and get The Rock's bloodline set up now here too. So we're going to get some additional talent. I would love for him to, but I don't see it happening either. Neither do I, Mr. OTM. I don't see it happening. I don't see Cody selling his soul. He's too over. The fans love him. He'd be going back on everything that he stands upon as a professional wrestler and as a person and his ideology when it comes to who he is and who he presents himself to be out there. So I agree. Cody Rhodes will not accept The Rock's offer. If this was an episode of Deal or No Deal and the banker was The Rock and Cody Rhodes was a contestant, he'd be slamming that button shut and saying, no deal. So no souls for The Rock here. At least not Cody's. But could Drew McIntyre sell his soul? Could CM Punk sell his soul? Could we get absolutely insane here and maybe argue that John Cena sells his soul to The Rock? I don't think that one, but anything can happen. And the way Triple H has been talking about Elimination Chamber, he says there's going to be changes. It's going to be massive for the industry. You never know what to expect on a premium live event. What's seeing even at the end of the year? We need Cody to be the full babyface of WWE. Oh yeah, that's it. Cody will be, when John Cena retires, Cody Rhodes is John Cena. That's it. Period at the end of the sentence. Any of those options selling your souls would be so much fun. That's what makes this good, in my opinion. Look, not great have been The Rock's promos. What is good is this unknown factor of, okay, well, if Cody doesn't do it, then could The Rock look for someone else's soul? So I think it's interesting, but I think, we've talked about it on the Nightcap the last couple of weeks. Rick, Booking Like a Mark as well has been commenting, over the last couple shows I've done with Boom on the Nightcap. And we've all kind of been in the general consensus where it's like, this is taking away slightly from the stacked elimination chambers that we have with the men's and the women's. Very, very true in that regard, but it is interesting, especially since The Rock did incite saying that he's praying to Cody's dear passed away father, and he has his death date on that weight belt that I showed earlier, which still kind of like, wow, that is definitely a Christian Cage move from The Rock here, but no soul for The Rock from Cody. maybe a soul from just about any other man in that chamber. If I'm a betting man, just because of the connection that we see with Drew when he re-signed to the company and The Rock gifted him that sword, that big ass sword, I could see the soul of one Drew McIntyre being sold to The Rock. If I'm going to give you my number one pick there, should be interesting. Hopefully we can get that out of the way. Doesn't take up too much time. It's going to easily be like a 20-minute fucking ordeal, but I just hope it doesn't take too much away from everything else we got going on. Cody Rhodes, the Soul. You got Travis Scott, who's going to be there. What a wild time to be alive here in Toronto. I mean, if I was Triple H, man, I would have just called up Kendrick because, you know, he owns Toronto, obviously, since the whole him and Drake thing, you know. Call up Kendrick. Let's get him down here, too, while we're at it. But looks like a fun show. Like I said, 4 matches. I'm excited. The match that I'm really personally excited for in the number 1 spot, and this is not to take away from both chambers. I'm very excited for both of these chamber matches, but I'm very excited for the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn unsanctioned. That is not the Kevin. This is the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn unsanctioned match. Goddamn, thumbnails are too small, guys. I can't see anything. I got bad eyes here. Listen, all right. I got contacts in, and they're clearly not doing the job. Sami Zayn, KO. Best friends, bitter enemies. Best friends, bitter enemies. Best friends, bitter enemies. Tale as old as time. Dare I say the modern day Shawn Michaels and Triple H here. You could also make that argument for Johnny and Ciampa too, but let's keep everything in line here. You could say modern day Bret Hart, Stone Cold, you know, if you're gonna get crazy. But even though they're both from freaking Canada, let's just get off the comparisons. No, there are no two men alike like these two, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. Personally, I would like the match to go on after the show. I know a lot of people have talked about this. It's an unsanctioned match. It's not a match sanctioned by the company. They have no liability. They have no fault in case one of these guys seriously maims the other. Should it go on after the entire show is over? Yes. Will that probably be the case the way they've kind of structured things? I doubt it. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. I don't look at rundowns. I like to be suspense, shock, and awe, you know, when I watch a show as to like what the next match is or what the next segment is. I did see potentially, if it's true, that the women's will kick off the show, which I would have thought they would have ended with the women's this time because they started with the women for the Rumble a month ago. And they usually flip flop it. If the men's main event did one, the men will start, the women will main event the other. They've done that, you know, over the last couple of years with the alternate, with the alternating, you know, main events for the men and women for like multi, you know, person matches. I'm going to go ahead and say that these guys are going to beat the living shit out of each other. I expect to see some blood from one of them or both of them here in this. I expect to see some moves that may be banned from WWE. You know, obviously KO's been rocking that package pile driver. Maybe we'll see some other banned moves, you know, from Sami to kind of level that playing field. Maybe he'll bring back that buckled package pile driver. No, Kevin does that one. Maybe he'll bring that one back to KO. Oh my God. The Steenizer, whatever it was called in Ring of Honor. That was fucking brutal. He's like, take him, fucking just toss him back at second turnbuckle. It's just a nasty move. So I'm going to give the edge to Sami Zayn to win this match. And the reason why I'm going with Sami to win is because I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. I hear it. I hear them. They talk to me. They counsel me. They tell me things I need to do. I hear voices in my head, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm seeing and I'm hearing those voices telling me that a certain rated the Viper, ladies and gentlemen, the Viper, Randy Orton will make his return at Elimination Chamber and cost Kevin Owens this unsanctioned match. Me personally, here's how I paint it up, ladies and gentlemen. Let me cook. We get Kevin Owens prone, down, on the ground, bloodied up. Sami Zayn down on the ground, on his knees, like telling KO, just stay down, just stay down. KO on his way up. You got a nice tight shot zoom of KO, KO on his hands, in that position. And then come off camera, just a shiny black leather boot comes in right off that camera and nails Kevin Owens with the infamous Randy Orton punt kick. Absolute cinema. That's how I paint this up. You get that tight camera shot on KO's face, and you just get the boot of one Randy Orton punt kicking Kevin into oblivion. Sami's reaction just being like shock and awe, and he has no choice but to pin Kevin Owens and win this match. Or it just ends with Randy punting KO, and that's it. The match is called off, and we don't get a clear-cut winner, and we clearly set up Randy versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania, because I think that's the destination. There is no reason as to why Randy Orton has been off our television screen since November. It's time. I think you got to make the move. Randy, KO. What better person to have against Randy, who's a guy who's, we know the back stuff and everything. Kevin Owens had a fantastic match with Stone Cold Steve Austin, somebody in his, late 50s, early 60s. I think he'll do very good with Randy at WrestleMania. I think they'll have themselves a nice match. That's what I would, in my mind, I picture it just going down like that. KO's down. You just see the foot of Randy come in with the punt kick, and that's it, ladies and gentlemen. And that's all she wrote. I think Drew should be the Rock's guy. It makes sense because the Rock approached Drew with a new contract. Yeah, Leo, you nailed it. I said it. That whole sword debacle. Kevin Owens wins. He just came off losing to Cody, so he needs to get the win and maybe attack Sami, still allowing Randy to make his return. Maybe. I like it. I like it this way. I think Sami's been taking a lot more losses, and I think Sami could use a win. And you'd have to look at the stat, overall when it comes to the history between these two and their matches. I think they're split, or I think KO has the advantage on one. So nevertheless, that's what I want. That's my prediction. I'm going to go Sami Zayn wins, Randy Orton punt kicks KO, because we haven't seen a punt kick in God knows how long. I think it's been just as many years as we've seen a package pile driver in WWE. So that's an exaggeration. I think it's been maybe like 7 years, 8 years, maybe less. I am rusty on my rules for unsanctioned math. Can this possibly go as a no fall? Yeah, I think it can go as a no fall. Both members unable to participate. One person could just be unable to respond to a ref, and the match gets called off. So I think it's really just pinfall, submission. Ref's only there to count the fall, the submission, or the quit. I guess you could say, yeah. I mean, haven't we had an NXT unsanctioned match where it just ended in they were unable to respond, and that was it. They were knocked out cold, and whoever wins. So I think you could see it like that. Maybe Randy punts KO, knocks him out. Ref has no choice to call it. Sami wins. Anything can go. Any weapon can be used. You can fight anywhere in the ring. The ref's only there for the pinfall or the submission, I believe. There's no, respond to the count, I guess. So this could be a sleeper match. This could very well steal the show away from two of the most stacked elimination chamber matches and a hometown return for Trish Stratus too as well. Obviously, we know KO and Sami, Canadian boys as well. Not necessarily from Toronto, but still Canadian boys. They always get the big pops in Canada. It's their people. Should be a good one. I'm excited for it, guys. I really am. I think that is a match that could very well steal the show. I really, truthfully think so. Let's go ahead, knock it out right now. Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. Tiffany has been eating losses the last couple weeks. She's been beat up by Charlotte. She's now been beat up by Nia and Candice as of last night. I got to give the win to Tiffy time and Trishy time. Trish Stratus just coming back out of the blue just for the tag team match with Tiffany Stratton. Their names are too similar. It's gonna happen at least one more time where I'm gonna call them one or the other. I like it. I think it's pretty fun. I mean, it's a cool just tag match you never thought you'd see happen. It's like, all right, cool. Why not? I mean, does it really deserve a place on the chamber card? Yeah, maybe 50-50. Sure, why not? It's Trish. She's a Hall of Famer. Why the hell not? You got Tiffany, 25-year-old savvy rookie coming up here in the pipeline. Year 2 now of going on. She's a champ. former Money in the Bank, like NXT champ. Like a lot could be said about the trajectory of one Tiffany Stratton. So I'm all for this. I think Tiffany and Trish get the win. I wouldn't be surprised if Trish is the one that gets the pinfall win. And I could argue that maybe this sets up a program for Trish at WrestleMania with Nia and Candice, and maybe she has to find another tag partner. Or this just sets up maybe a program with Tiffany and Trish in the future, like plant the seeds type of deal. I think this match will just be what it is. You know, Tiffany and Trish get a win. Trish gets a hometown pop. They love her. So I don't see any issues with this match overall. Tiff does need the win and some momentum. Otherwise, Charlotte makes quick work. Yeah, I think, Rick, we talked about it last night. You're on the nightcap. Thanks for hanging out with me last night. I know it was late for you. I know this is earlier for you. We talked a little bit about it where they could be telling the story of the rookie who's in over her head as the first-time champion, who's not prepared and didn't look ahead in her planning when she cashed in on Nia and didn't expect that she would be in these certain positions. So I think you could tell that story. If you decide to have Charlotte beat her at WrestleMania, that's a great story to tell. And then you just build Tiffany up, mega babyface in the next calendar year after Mania. She's on the return. She's on the quest. And then she inevitably beats Charlotte at WrestleMania next year. Paints itself right there. Writes itself. I like it. Trish manages Tiffany and Mania and turns on her setting up a storyline. He's last year. Another good point, Rick. I like it. Fantasy booking's on fire here for all of us today. Leo said Tiffany needs the win. She has to look strong going in Mania facing Charlotte. I say bold prediction. Tiffany pins Nia to get the win. I like it. Good prediction, Leo. I'm still going to give the win to Trish. I think they're going to give the pop to the Hall of Famer and the legend for Toronto. But if Tiffany does get the pin on Nia, I think that also helps her. And that puts Nia's case of any sort of championship rematch kind of to bed, I feel. Should be a fun match. I'm not mad. They're going to have cool matching fits. They're going to probably do something Toronto themed. It's going to be cool. Tiffany will probably wear like a glitter cowboy hat like Trish wears. They'll do a little Tiffy time, Trishy time matching. It'll be fun from like the presentation standpoint. As for the match itself, I think they're going to get the win. Quick work, call it what it is. So let's move on. Let's talk about our first chamber match, and that is going to be the women's elimination chamber match. One of the most stacked women's chambers matches, I'd say overall, last couple years. You got Roxanne Perez, the prodigy. You got the role model Bayley. You've got Glow, the Glow Queen herself, Naomi. You've got Alexa Bliss. You've got Liv Morgan, and you've got the EST of WWE. You've got Bianca Belair. Only person I would have loved to see in this is, as we all know, say it with me at home, on 3, 1, 2, 3, Io Sky. Io Sky here is going to have a match against Rhea Ripley on Monday Night Raw. I said Alexa Bliss's name, and my Alexa went off in the other room. That is why you saw the puzzled look on my face. Always happens. I always have to just say Bliss because that thing goes off. I'm in the other room, doors closed, still goes off. Nevertheless, great chamber match here. Who wins? Who starts? Who finishes? Let's break it down, shall we? The first two in this match, I believe, will be Bayley and Roxanne Perez, with Roxanne coming out as the number one starter, with Bayley being the number 2 starter in this match. I believe Naomi, Bianca, Liv, and Alexa will be locked in chamber pods to start this match. I believe Roxanne and Bayley will start. They'll have themselves probably a great 5-6 minute, just nice sequences between the two. That sequence last night to end that 6-woman tag on SmackDown was incredible. I think they'll have a little time to cook up, tease a little Mania singles match or a little stand and deliver Mania match for Roxanne to have her sailing away party from NXT to hit the main roster. She's on a similar trajectory as one Tiffany Stratton was a year ago when she had that elimination chamber breakout moment. I think this is what it will be for Roxanne today. So give me Bayley and Roxanne to start, with Roxanne at 1, Bayley at 2. Give me, coming in at the 3 spot, give me Alexa Bliss to add that element of unpredictability, because we don't know what Alexa's deal is. We don't know if the Wyatt Six are going to come for her. We don't know if she's going to snap. We saw her hit the Abigail DDT on Roxanne. She showed the hand. The glove said pain. So she's in this match to create pain. The small details of those characters that we've been blessed to have created by Bray Wyatt. You know, Alexa and her character, you know, we've seen the hints. We know the Wyatt Six are on SmackDown. We know they're stalling out till someone is healed from injury. I don't know if it is Bo or if it's someone else. Nevertheless, I could see a Wyatt Six appearance here. I could very well see the lights go out. You hear the music. Alexa's in the freaking pod or something, and she just gets kidnapped and she's gone and she's out of this match, and they may have to throw someone else in as a replacement. Could that replacement be, just out of the blue, Jade Cargill? It's a thought that just came to my head. I'm talking. I think the Wyatt Six are involved here with Alexa. I think Alexa could have a target on her back overall. You know, so when we look at that, I could see that happening. I'm not 100% on that. I really wouldn't put too much stock into that. But if it happens, hey, you heard it here first by your boy mouthing off with Mike. Why is my thingies not on, guys? Why is my thing not on? Why is my thing not on? What are we doing? What are we doing? Where's the professionality? There we go. Now you know who I am. There was no name. How are we going to know who I am, right? Listen, give me Roxanne Bailey to start. Bring in Alexa at the 3 spot. Give me Naomi in the 4 spot. Give me Bianca in the 5 spot. Give me Liv in the 6 spot. Let Liv come out last. I've toyed with this idea. I don't think Naomi wins this. I don't think Bianca wins this. I have really 4 options in this. I think Naomi and Bianca are tied up with the Who Attacked Jade storyline and the big 3, feud that we'll probably see. I do see a Jade Cargill return tonight. How we get Jade Cargill's return, a lot of different ways. Chamber doors do open for the eliminated person to go out. She could sneak in. If Alexa does, in fact, get kidnapped on some crazy fantasy booking off the wall, I may have hit the pendulum too many times this morning, and Alexa gets kidnapped by the Wyatt Six, maybe Jade gets inserted in this match. Io's got a guaranteed championship match tomorrow, Monday on Raw. Keep an eye on this, man. I've been cooking recently. I've called a lot of things. I was shocked that nobody talked shit about John Cena the entirety of the build to Chamber. They all did it last night, especially Drew. I said, why is a guy like Drew not talking smack on John Cena? They went and did that. I said that last week. A week later, they did it. I'm noticing things, Triple H. I'm noticing things, Mr. Hunter Hearst Helmsley. All right, Paul, you might be having me tapped. I got to check this freaking Pharaoh plush from WrestleMania. It might have a wiretap in it. Listen, going to be a great Chamber. I expect to see a pop rocks from Roxanne Perez from the top of a pod to probably Liv Morgan, because I feel like Liv Morgan's the only other crazy person to take that move with Roxanne. Maybe Bailey. Bailey's down for the cause. She's down to help a young. Her and Roxanne are great friends. Roxanne looked up to Bailey coming up. Obviously we know AJ Lee in there as well. But I expect a pop rocks from the Chamber. Liv's probably going to jump off the top of the goddamn Chamber structure. She's done that a few times in the past. I expect a lot of tag team work between Bianca and Naomi up until maybe they are within a final 3. I think your final 3 is going to be Liv, Naomi, and Bianca. I think you can paint it as Jade's music hitting, Naomi, Bianca look at each other like, oh shit, she's back. And they both know that nobody attacked Jade. It was them. I think it's going to be a them thing, or at least Naomi or Bianca. I think it's Bianca, honestly. I think Bianca is flipping. And I think Bianca at that point will then attack Naomi, and then Liv will pin Naomi, and then Jade will come in or distract Bianca enough where Liv can get the win. So I am going to go with Liv here for my winner. And that's just because I just don't think Rhea and Liv is done. Out of this lineup, the other names I would put here, because I truthfully feel if you want to be WWE and you want to be crazy, you could make an argument for Bailey. Bayley was a Rumble winner last year. She won the title at Mania off Io, her former Damage Control member. Then you could run this out as Rhea collecting the old guard of the women's division. She beat Charlotte. She beat Becky. She could beat Bayley at WrestleMania this year. And then the only one left is there's a fourth horsewoman. She's not around anymore. That's right. She doesn't exist. So we have to wait until maybe she exists in this world once again. A little CEO action or a bank statement. You might have to check into that one. But I'm leaning towards Liv. The problem is, the complication is now she's a tag team champion. So are you going to risk Liv being a double champ post-Mania? Or what do you do with the tag titles for the women at Mania? If Liv's going to verse Rhea, then you have her wrestle for the tag titles on SmackDown before Mania. She's pulling double duty. One night she's wrestling, the other night she's wrestling for the world title. That's why Liv kind of confuses me here, where it's like, out of all of these picks, I'm saying Liv makes sense. But me personally, if you want to get nuts, you could get real crazy here. And you could do, in theory, I don't know if she's got the star power yet, but Rhea Roxanne. You want to make Roxanne the prodigy? Have her start the chamber, like I said, and have her run the entire chamber. And have her win. Scrappy win. Roll-up win on a distracted Bianca and Naomi. That's what I would like to see, but I think Liv gets it in the bag here. I think Liv wins here. This is her 6th time in the chamber. It makes sense. It's going to be Liv versus Rhea versus Io at Mania. They've been teasing her throughout the latter half of 2024. Yeah, I mean, Io's another name in the doesn't need the title. Yeah, Bianca and Rhea will definitely happen. I think that could be a title match in the near future. I think that doesn't need the title. I think it's both. Yeah, Leo, you're right. That feud needs more than a 6-week build for sure. Main Event Wrestling Network says the EST. I kind of agree with Leo there, guys, just because of we only got 6 weeks, and Rio and Bianca is a match that they've teased for years and years and years now. It's going up from NXT to now. We haven't had it yet. We've had kind of it. We've been very close. I think for me personally, it's between Liv, Bliss, Bayley, and Roxanne. I favor Liv. I could see Bliss getting it, but she hasn't been back long enough. She hasn't really sunk her teeth into anything. I think Bliss has a Wyatt 6 feud waiting for her for potential WrestleMania. I think Bayley, Roxanne is the WrestleMania match themselves. Bayley versus Roxanne. I think Naomi and Bianca have the Jade issue, and I think the only one makes sense here is Liv, but she's a tag champ now with Raquel. So double duty at Mania for Liv? Maybe. 2 belts Liv after Mania ends? Strong maybe. Rhea, Liv, Io? Possibility. Maybe Io beats Rhea Monday. Maybe it's not a triple threat at WrestleMania. We've all been fantasy booking multi-man and multi-woman matches for WrestleMania because of how much star power we have in WWE right now. But maybe maybe we're wrong. Maybe we're way off base. Maybe it's as clear and cut as Io or Rhea versus Liv, or Io and Rhea versus Roxanne, or Io and Rhea or Rhea versus Bayley. Bianca, Naomi, I think they're tied up with Jade. Bliss, I think you got to go Wyatt 6. They've teased it now week after week and week, and she's got all these different kind of hints and previews, and you see the little QR codes and that sort of stuff. So I gotta lean Liv here. So I'm taking Liv. I just don't know how the absolute hell you are going to flesh out the tag team feud for her and Raquel, which could potentially be Bianca and Naomi at Mania or one of the other talented women's tag teams. But I guess Liv makes sense. I say, fuck it. Run the gauntlet, baby. Roxanne Perez, you're going to WrestleMania, girl. But go and Liv. Let's take it. Let's take it home, folks. Let's take it home. Not to that match. We already did that match. I can't see shit, guys. I can't see anything. I'm blind. I'm blind as a bat here. Men's Elimination Chamber. One of the all-times. There's only one sneak in this match. And I swear, if you say Damian Priest, I'm going to come through that screen. I'm going to beat your ass. Because I love me some Damian Priest. I love the Archer of Infamy. I miss the old NXT when he first came in to the company and he would do his entrance. And then he'd come, turn around to the Jumbotron, and he'd shoot the fake arrow. And then he'd hit the arrow. And then the name would light up in fire. I thought that shit was so goddamn clean. I wish they would bring that shit back. Now he's more like Undertaker. Yeah, don't drop that name in my comments. I'm not getting canceled for calling him what you guys call him on the internet. Don't even say it. Chamber match. You got a lot of hate in this match. This match is sponsored by Hate University and the Dean of Hate University, Chano Hayes from Four Sides of the Ring. This match is entirely sponsored by the Hater of the Year tournament. And as we know, in 2024, that Hater of the Year was Drew McIntyre. Let's see who it is for this coming calendar year. We're only 2 months into the year, so Drew's still up there in the rankings. I think Punk and Seth are also up there in the rankings. But we got John Cena. I haven't seen him merely but 3 times on the retirement tour. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, Seth friggin' Rollins, and Logan Paul. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm very ecstatic about Logan Paul being in the Elimination Chamber match and just absolutely. It's like the meme, right? You ever see that meme where it's like you got the bunch of guys behind the wall, the army guys, and they're all like ready, and there's the one guy dressed like a clown. That's what this is. I'm pretty sure Drew actually tweeted that image in regards to this chamber because it's true. There is 5 incredibly gifted, absolute, 4 absolute legends in the game, 2 confirmed, 2 pending, and 1 has a chance with Priest. Obviously, 1 pending is the 2 pending is Drew and Seth, and the 2 confirmed legends are Cena and Punk. It's safe to say they're legends in the game at this point. This is a great one. Dare I say, if we could have somehow gotten Randy out of the whole KO story, put Randy in this match instead of Logan, oh, baby. Oh, I would have been yeeting everywhere if Randy was in this. Can you imagine? Randy, Seth, Punk, Cena, Drew, Priest. My goodness. But we don't get that. We get something else. It's fine. Logan Paul's going to do something absolutely stupid off the chamber. It'll be a viral moment. He'll claim it's a viral moment. Listen, you got Jake Paul getting involved, calling people names on Twitter about Logan's fake out last night on SmackDown with him coming out to Cena's entrance music. You got Drew finally, after I called for it last week, talking shit about Cena not showing up. Punk said, we got a Cena retirement tour and we still can't see him. Seth dressed like an oven mitt last night. It was a fantastic promo with the 5 of these men. Obviously, you couldn't see Cena. You can't see him. Man, I'm excited for this match. That's why I wanted this match to go open the show so I could get right into it because I have the most amount of energy right when that show starts. But the most amount of energy for the women, I'm gonna give it my all, man. I'm gonna enjoy the absolute hell out of that women's chamber match because there's so many different variables. There's so many different variables here. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna tell you that CM Punk, Seth Rollins will open this Elimination Chamber match. Seth being number 1, Punk being number 2. Number 3 will be Drew McIntyre. Number 4 will be Damian Priest. Number 5 will be Logan Paul. And number 6 in this match will be John Cena. John Cena has pulled. He didn't qualify for this match. He said, I'll see you in a month in Toronto on the post press conference for Royal Rumble. That was it. Hey, I'll see you guys in Toronto. See you later. In a while. See you later, alligator. In a while, crocodile. I won't be there until Canada. It makes all the sense in the world for Cena to enter this chamber match last, come out last, maybe hit an AA on a Priest, eliminate Priest. I hate to admit it. I think Logan Paul eliminates our good man, John Cena. I think John Cena's WrestleMania road will be marred with prime bottles, terrible jokes, and Logan Paul's corny ass. Damn shame. Now, mind you, it's Cena's retirement tour, so he gets to pick who his retirement match is, I'm sure of. It's John Cena, after all, 20 plus years in the game, WWE for lifer, movie star, legend extraordinaire. He gets to tell Triple H who he's wrestling. Don't kid yourself there. And if he picked Logan Paul, I feel some type of way about that. I get Logan Paul's talented. I get it. But remember how everyone bitched and complained about Baron Corbin being Kurt Angle's last WrestleMania retirement match? You're going to hear a lot of bitching and complaining from people about Logan Paul being Cena's, especially if it doesn't live up and deliver in the in-ring perspective or on the way to WrestleMania. A guy like John Cena will eat Logan Paul up on the microphone. Look what he did to Theory. Theory's still rebounding from that to this day. It's gotten a little bit better, with him and A-Town Down Under, but Theory's still rebounding from that today. Imagine what Cena has material. He's been listening. He's been waiting. Cena has material to cut this man up into a million little pieces and leave him just disgraced when it comes to his promos. Because Logan's got a couple good promos out in the last couple months. He had a couple good things with Knight. He did some good work with Punk on Raw on Monday, even though Punk was running circles around him. Logan held his own a very little bit. Okay. So I think that's how that breaks down. I think Logan eliminates Cena and Logan. I think, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to put your ones up in the sky. I think Roman Reigns cost Seth Rollins the chamber match. I think you could see an elimination made. The chamber door opens. Roman runs up in this motherfucker, spears the shit out of Seth. Everyone's looking like, oh, shit, did that just happen? And I think a Drew or a Punk pins Seth and eliminates him, and Seth just does not go down. I think Shawn Michaels, Royal Rumble, when he got eliminated and he threw that absolute fit, I expect the same fit from Seth again, much like he did at the Royal Rumble. I expect the same fit from Seth Rollins here when he gets eliminated thanks to Roman Reigns. There's your prediction. There's your hot take. Roman Reigns, Tribal Chief, back in business on the Elimination Chamber Premium Live event. And I think you got to just go with your gut here, ladies and gentlemen. As much as I am torn here, we know Priest is not winning. I think Priest will have a match with maybe Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. I could see Priest eliminating Drew. People would be pissed, but I could see Priest eliminating Drew, but I could also see Drew winning this. You heard me say it earlier. Drew could sell his soul to The Rock. Their connection is there. The Rock bought him a fucking sword. Now, if I'm Drew, man, listen, hear me out. I don't condone violence. You got that big ass sword from The Rock. You could just 5 other guys. Just the sword could win you. You could permanently end all of these guys' careers and you could go main event WrestleMania. I'm not condoning it. I'm not condoning it. I'm not trying to put on no watch lists here. I'm just kidding. All jokes. Please, Drew, don't stab anyone with that goddamn sword. I lean Drew or Punk. I don't think Cena gets it. I think the Cena retirement, redemption, title tour, that's gonna be drawn out to the very last day. I think it's gonna be like 11th hour, Cena wins the title, loses it the next night by a Money in the Bank cash-in or something. Or he relinquishes it on the Raw, his last Raw, and that's it. He ends as a one-day champion, as 17-time. He breaks the record. Fireworks go off. We all cry because John Cena will not be wrestling anymore. I will cry. I, as a grown man, will cry. Real tears. Cry me a river, for real. When Cena puts the Reebok pumps in the middle of the ring, puts the towel down, leaves the jorts, and he comes out in a suit, and you know that you're just getting corporate Cena forever. Maybe Cena becomes what The Rock is now in the future. I don't know. Anything's freaking possible here. I'm going to go, and the Elimination Chamber winner taking on the American Nightmare at WrestleMania, Drew McIntyre as the Elimination Chamber winner. I think Drew will sell his soul. I think this match goes on last. Cody and The Rock shit happens earlier in the show. I think they open with Cody and The Rock, and then you go into the chamber. But if the rumors are true, women's chamber is opening, then Cody and Rock probably right after. Then you go into Tiffany and Trish. Then you go into Unsanctioned. Then you go into chamber. Men's chamber, this match right here. So Give me Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes, and let's talk about the last thing that we need to talk about. I think I've covered everything, guys. I think I've covered it all. I think I've covered everything I could possibly cover with Elimination Chamber, with potential surprises, potential returns, potential appearances, all of the road to WrestleMania. We're in the fast lane. We're in the HOV lane. We're cruising down the freeway because you're all a part of the road to WrestleMania with me here on Mouthing Off with Mike, and of course on Boom Broadcasting. So I'm saying Drew McIntyre wins, and I'm saying CM Punk gets his favor from Paul Heyman, and I think that is going to be a favor for CM Punk to get into a championship match at WrestleMania, and I think you very well could see the wildest triple threat match possible. CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, Elimination Chamber is going to be a hell of a show here tonight. The road to WrestleMania, we are now almost 45 days away. I don't know the math. I don't know. It's March 1st, April 18th. Do the math. 31. We're 50. We're 49 days away, I believe. Quick math. 18. Yeah, something like that. We're 49 days away from WrestleMania or something, give or take one or two. It's been a fun show here today, guys. I want to thank all of you guys for hanging out, talking, putting your predictions in the chat there down below. You guys are awesome. Make sure you go check out some of the commenters. Kicking it with Leo, Main Event Wrestling Network, Rick 8-Bit, Mr. OTM there. Who else we got? That's all our live viewers and commenters here. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Mouthing Off with Mike. These have been my Elimination Chamber 2025 predictions. I'll catch you all here later tonight on Boom Broadcasting for the nightcap here. So make sure you subscribe to Boom Broadcasting. Go subscribe to me if you're not already subscribed. Drop me a follow if you're watching on Twitter. Much appreciated. It's free. It helps out. I don't know who it helps. Maybe me, maybe you, maybe everyone. If you like my content, I'm sure you'll love what we'll talk about here after everything has went off the air when it comes to Elimination Chamber. So after the show, Elimination Chamber nightcap on Boom Broadcasting. I'm out of here, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your Saturday afternoon and enjoy Elimination Chamber. Bye, guys.